And so you mentioned earlier about, so it's arranged marriage, yeah?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we were
clearly,
introduced and we consented, yeah.
yeah, that was my point. So
Consented.
going,
Oh.
yeah, that's very medical. So we're using the medical
Yeah.
medical
I
world. But I've
consented.
taken consent. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Maybe Indy,
Wonderful.
maybe it's an industry word, like in Sukh's industry.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, it must be.
so Sukh, you consented. You've arranged. But so going into it, like, so you weren't forced. Like, you knew it was all good. Like, you know, you wanted to get married. It wasn't like anything else, was it?
No, no. Yeah, of course, I wanted to get married. And it was
Why
all,
did you
know,
want to
I
get
really-
married? I need to
This
dig
is
into this.
the thing,
Why
Good
did you want to get
question.
when I
married?
look back
Good
now-
question.
Yeah, because you feel it. Because I talk about this now with people I talk about this now to my clients that get really pushy and like, you know, I had one guy that said, I'm 27, I want to be married by the time I'm 30. You know, if I find someone now, then we hang out for a couple of years and we can have kids and get married. And I'm like,
Whoa,
Bang, 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 bang.
He's applying the pressure, man. Let's go.
Yeah,
Straight
but-
up, man. Let's go. In. Right.
yeah, but bless him. I understand because I've been there. And from
Right.
experience, I can tell him, you know what, you need to slow down and you can't force this timeline because you've got
But
to
the
be with right person.
original thought you had, which look, I've had. Indy, how old are you, Indy? 28. You're 28, aren't you? 27. 29. You're 20. You're
Are you
29.
about to have a domestic?
I don't know, man. But he's younger. He's younger than me.
Call yourself
That's
my
the key.
boy, yeah? You don't even know how old I am.
The key, but they're all
29, bro.
you're all younger than
29,
me. It's fine.
29.
Right. So I remember being that age. So I got married at 27, and it was like, yeah, this is kind of the age that everyone gets married. So when you were there, and you're right that this person you're talking about, that kind of notion of this is the time I should be married by, where do you think it comes from? Is that family? Is that what we see? Like, where is that coming from? Like in your clients as well?
It seems like it's unwritten that it's just expected. It's like it's just expected of you. But I just feel, I've learned what I feel now from having experienced my 20s is you're still figuring yourself out, and you are,
Yeah.
you know, the world is your oyster. You know, one day I do want to settle down, one day I do want to get married, or maybe you're just thinking, oh, you know what, I'm not going to do that until I'm 30. I want to travel the world first. I want to do this first. The world really is your oyster, and you've got all these plans, and you make a plan, but life gets in the way, and you can't, you know,
Dictate. You can't dictate that.
Yeah, exactly. In your 20s, I mean, I was supposed to be a millionaire. I'm like so many years behind schedule, but you know, a billionaire kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but it's just, but you just think you're so powerful. You've got everything in your control and nothing can stop it. Obviously, you evolve, you learn, you have your life experiences, and that's, you know, by your mid-20s, your late 20s, and then you know that you've had some life experiences, you've dated, you know, you've seen quarrels in your family, you've experienced death, all sorts of things. And these are the kind of things that define you as a person. And that's when you realize that you need to let go and just let life take its course. If you want to get married, if you want to, you know, get married, have children, date, go down the right routes, go onto the dating apps. I'm not a dating app basher. Yeah, go onto the dating apps or go on to find a matchmaker, wherever it may be. But don't think, right, I need to find someone now because I need to get married I need to hang out with them for 2 years, and then like by 2 years we can get married. Stop imposing a timeline. You're going to put pressure on the moment. Just be present and just accept what is.
You still haven't told me why you wanted to get married, like in that moment of that
This
age.
is the thing. Yeah, I mean, for me, it was just like, he don't let go, does he? No,
Nope.
it was just, you just feel it was expected. It was the next thing to do. So,
It's the thing to do. There you go.
Yeah.
I knew it. That's what it was. It was the thing to do, right? It's what we expect people to do.
course. Yeah.
Yeah.
this was
All right.
many
So
years
it was like
ago.
many years ago.
Yeah, exactly, many years ago.
I
No,
find
but
now, sir.
it makes sense.
Go on.
It makes sense. Like I
It
understand
does
why
make
you would
sense.
think that, and
But even
If-
you
if-
guys, are you both
Go
in
on.
your 20s? I'm assuming you're both in your
so
20s.
I'm 29. Karan's 30. He's 31 in 2 months. Don't think I
Okay,
forgot.
well,
1 month, bro.
All right.
1 month. We just spoke about this
All
like
right.
5 minutes
Sorry.
ago. He did that on
No, we
purpose.
No, we didn't.
I showed you my calendar and I said it's my
I
birthday.
know,
in
Karan.
May.
I know. Relax.
This
Relax.
guy's
Okay.
he's triggering me now.
You two are proper like a
So,
couple.
all right.
I showed you my
I'm
calendar.
29.
Okay.
I'm 20. So I'm 29. He's 30. What was your second question, sorry?
So
yeah,
she's-
so I was going to say
20s,
with
yeah.
even now, you must feel there's things that are imposed on you. Like there's
Right.
things
This is what I'm
expected
getting into,
even
so-
now.
Kids,
Yeah.
kids. So my perception now is the trend to get married, the kind of age is moving on a little bit. Got a lot of friends, Indy is getting married, that's fine, but a lot of friends who are like plus 30, fine, right? And the second trend I'm seeing is of the married couples who are kind of in that traditional 25 to 30 who do get married, the having kids thing, like kids by 30, that used to be my thing as well, completely gone. And I'm doing what you said now, which is like I want to travel, I'm getting into my businesses, I'm in India doing all these hustles. It's like I want to have all these things set. I know they're not going to be fully set.
But there's also things as well, Karan, where you need to, that needs to be a conversation you have early. So say in your family, right? Hypothetically here, you might have a history of fertility issues in your family. Yeah. So if you don't have that upfront conversation with your partner early, to set the expectation early within an X amount of years, we need to start looking at this, or we can start assessing the playing field before we get married. That's important. But I think people are scared to have that conversation because they're like, they'll see me as broken. They think I'm fucked up. My body's a mess. My family's a mess. Like all these preconceived notions that go in your head, you want to present yourself in the best way in the first few months of that person. You only really get to know someone, in my opinion, when you argue with them for the first time.
Absolutely.
I was like, okay.
Absolutely.
So when you argue, then I see what you're really like. Then I can see, are you stubborn? Are you difficult? Are you willing to compromise? Are you willing to apologise? Like, those are things.
Anyone in particular, or?
I'm talking about myself because I am all those things, right? But I've worked on all those things and I've tried to be better at all of them. Not perfect, but I do have a number of things that I need to work on. I've only noticed that over the years of being in a relationship. So those are important
feedback,
things
isn't it?
and traits to notice.
Being in a relationship gives you feedback. Feedback which you wouldn't otherwise get.
Yeah, exactly.
But then I can imagine nowadays in a world of instant everything, if someone has a bad conversation, they're like, piss off, I'm done. This is finished.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, where did that come from? So I can see why people are scared to be themselves sometimes in front of like people they've just met. Especially if they've been on like a bunch of bad dates and they've now found one semi-decent date, they put it on such a pedestal. They're like, yo, this is sick. This is the one. This could be the one.